Alex here from Homeschool of Bel Air. I wanted to take a little bit of time and go over some of the curriculum choices and things that I have been working at for my first grader. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please stay tuned and check out what we're using. Alright guys, so this is just a little bit more in depth into what I'm using with my first grader. For handwriting, I chose the Xander Blaser Handwriting Level 1. He's not big into writing. I do struggle with him a lot, but he does seem to enjoy this book quite a bit. I also use my first writing prompts from Lakeshore Learning just to get him more into the creative writing type of swing of things, I guess. So we do this twice a week. We do this one twice a week, and then every Friday I allow him to just do a regular drawing, right? Let him choose what he wants to write about. All right, for language arts, what I've chosen to use is a Harcourt program, and it's a complete language arts program that I found. And these are the textbooks, so the stories are in here that you read, and then you answer your questions or you work on your practice books. Book 1, Book 2, which is the one we're currently on, Book 3, Book 4, and then Book 5. And like I said, these are all just the textbooks, so I'll just show you guys the one that we're working on currently. This is the way that it looks on the inside. For every lesson, and it's a 5-day-a-week lesson, you have your words to remember, which are like the vocabulary words. Then you go into your story. It tells you what type of story it is, realistic, fiction. You get to explain to your child what that means. And like I said, it comes with the activity book. The activity, this first one has the activities for the first 3 books, and then the second one has for the last 2 books. So then what I do for the week is I just go in here, pull out the worksheets that he needs, which are usually 5 or 6 for the week, and then I go to the back and pull out his test for that Friday. We've already been working out of this one, so we're a little bit more than halfway through. This curriculum, I liked it because it also comes with a spelling practice book. So for each lesson, and I don't rip the pages out of this one, I actually photocopy them. Just because of this, I am going to be using this curriculum with my 5-year-old once he gets into first grade. And I've already purchased him the extra practice books. I recently purchased the other part of it, which is more of the grammar part of it. We haven't started this one, just see, it's actually brand new. I just got it in the mail. But it's we're a little bit far into this curriculum, but I was excited to find the grammar portion of it. So we are going to start that. I'm going to find the lesson that we're on and just kind of take off from there. And I'm probably going to do the same where I'm just going to photocopy this book, the pages, as opposed to ripping the pages out. When it comes to grammar, I had a hard time finding a grammar program for first grade. I noticed that a lot of them began at 2nd grade, but I did manage to find on Teachers Pay Teachers, a language arts or grammar interactive notebook. So I went ahead and purchased that for him. I know we're doing just going down the line in the table of contents and working out of his little interactive notebook. What I did end up finding that I had to order through Barnes & Noble was the Scholastic Great Grammar Practice for Grade 1. So what I do is I just go down the table of contents, figure out where we're at for that week, and I do about one lesson a week. And what I do is, if we're working on commas, I'll find a page in here that specializes in commas. And I don't think I had any in here for commas, so I ended up having to go back to Teacher Pay Teachers and find some worksheets all about commas. So right now, this week, we're actually working abbreviations, and that's how we're doing our grammar for this year. It's just pretty much his little interactive notebook. He doesn't like to write as much. He prefers to cut and paste and color. So this is actually working out great for us this year. I did already find him his grammar for next year, so we'll be starting that hopefully in the summer. But for now, this is working out fine. This is another thing that I incorporate into my son's reading. It's a Scott Forsman reading, and it's actually a teacher's resource book. but it has the complete worksheets pretty much for each lesson. This is the front. This isn't the cover. The cover actually ripped off. It was kind of old. But this is what we work from. And what I liked about it is that every lesson has 6 sight words that we stick with for that whole entire week. And then it has activity books and readers. The readers I did have to buy separately, but I was able to find them quite easily. And each lesson comes with a reader. So like for instance, right now we're on lesson 3, or week 3 of it. We started this actually kind of late into the year because I found it kind of late into the year, but I just like that it has the sight words already mapped out for me, so I don't have to figure out what sight words to do each week. It already has it mapped out for me. So for lesson 3, then I marked the little books. This is for week 3 or lesson 3. It tells you what we're working on. So it's initial consonant, F, G, and L, word families, ig and it. And then it also works with some of the sight words that we're learning for that week. That's why I like this curriculum. It's already kind of set up for you. This weekend, I ended up finding grade 2. And it's the same exact thing as a teacher's resource book, which like I said, it's almost like a teacher's guide, but it has the worksheets in it. So we're just gonna work out of this, which is fine. I also, for extra sight word practice, I purchased him, we do flashcards, obviously, and I also purchased him a sight word interactive notebook. And I found this on Teachers Pay Teachers, and I can't recall the name of the lady that set this up, but I loved it because you get pretty much all the Deutsch sight words in one packet. And that was kind of hard to find because everyone sold you either the pre-primer, the primer, the first grade, and so forth. She has all of them. So I really like this package. So what I do is I pull out the sight words that we're working on for that week. We just come in and do our page in our interactive notebook. So that's how we do the sight words for his reading, or in addition to his reading. So this is what we do for our sight words. What we use for reading, we do use the All About Reading program. We're on level 1. And we're definitely enjoying this program. Like I said, he's already a reader. He should technically be in 2nd grade, but he does read at more of a 1st grade level. So I went ahead and just kept him in the 1st grade level just to get him up to speed with the reading and more up to his grade level, which is fine. We're not stressing about it. So this is what we're doing for reading. I just photocopied the cover, taped it onto a regular notebook, and we just, as we go through the lessons, we glue the pages in here or staple them. And we can always go back and look at what we've worked at if we need extra practice on some of the lessons, and we just kind of go in here and find it and go ahead and read it. We ordered another one of the activity books for my 5-year-old. I might start him on this program next year for kindergarten. I'm undecided, but he might be ready for it. We'll see. Is we do the reading lesson, and he enjoys this book. It's pretty easy for him, but we're enjoying it, and he's having fun doing the lessons from here. The lessons are a little long also, so some of the lessons I do break up into 2 to 3 days depending on how I feel him out when it comes to the reading. But we're enjoying this book. We have started him on the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, and it was just kind of, because he's already a reader, it was kind of just confusing him. So I went with this one. The stories are funnier and cuter, so he's actually enjoying this book a lot better. Comes to spelling, we were doing the All About Spelling. Sorry, I was grabbing it. I was doing the All About Spelling, but I felt like it was a little advanced for him. So I went ahead and to set this aside, I think we'll start it hopefully by next year, or not next year, maybe beginning 3rd grade. I'm not sure yet. I have to look at the levels and see when we can start it just by looking at the lessons. But it was a little hard for him this year, so we'll hold it off for a little bit. What I did end up finding was the Words Their Way. We haven't started this. We're going to start this hopefully next week, and it's a level A. And I liked it because it's more of a cutting and pasting, which I think he'll enjoy. So this is what we're going to be starting in the next couple of weeks. the other thing, and we were supposed to start this last week, but I was still waiting on the teacher's guide. It's the Hutton Mifflin Spelling and Vocabulary. So this is going to be another thing that we start probably around the same time we start this one. And I was able to find the teacher's guide to go with it. And I was able to find actually a secondary book this weekend for my kindergartner. So when he starts first grade, he'll be able to start this fresh. With a writer's dictionary in the back of the book. But I didn't want to have to rip it out because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to use it for my kindergartner. Like I said, I ended up finding a secondary book, but I had already created him his own little writer's dictionary, and it's just A through Z blank pages where he writes his vocabulary words for that week. It's okay, we'll use this. So that's what we're using, or going to start using for spelling. All right, so real quick for math, we started off the school year this past summer with Horizons, grade 2, because he is in a grade 2. He just didn't enjoy it. We got to about lesson 19, I want to say, and he just wasn't having fun with it. He wasn't enjoying it. It was just giving me a headache every time we had to do math. So I ended up just kind of setting it aside. I might use it for my kindergartner once he gets into 2nd grade. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. What I ended up doing was I found and this is just for now because I was trying to figure it out what I was going to be doing. The Macmillan McGraw-Hill Mathematics resource. It's also like a resource book that I found, and I found the PDF complete printable, and it's like 300 pages, I think, online. And it's very straightforward, no color to the pages, just black and white, but he's enjoying it. So whatever, we're doing it, and I had been researching the primary mathematics, the Singapore math. Yes, baby?
Mama, it didn't say poop.
He said poop.
Yeah.
Tell him not to say poop anymore.
No, you say poop, him.
Oh.
Because him, that's a bad word.
It is a bad word. Okay, tell him not to say that anymore. Tell him mommy's mad. Sorry. Okay, so this is the math that we're doing right now, and we were just using it as a filler because I was doing my research on what math to get. So I decided to go ahead and go with the Singapore math. I just got these in the mail. I'm waiting for the actual textbooks to come in, and we're probably going to start this fresh also next week. So I'm excited about that. I think he's going to enjoy these. But like I said, for now, he's enjoying this. We might still work out of this book once in a while. We'll see. This one has a lot of word problems, which he loves. And he's not a strong reader, but I do have to read them for him. And we just work them out together, and he just loves them. So we actually have a little notebook that I have in the front that I created for him. And this is where we do our drawing, and we do our show the work type of thing. And so this is what we are doing. Also, the other thing that we work out of sometimes is a Math for the Gifted Student, grade 1. And this is by Flash Kids. He also likes this one because a lot of it is mental math, and it's word problems, and he loves that kind of stuff. So we work out of this, and it is 1st grade level, so it does seem to be pretty easy for him, which I like because then it just makes it funner for him. So we do one of these a week. So we usually work from this every Friday or so. That pretty much wraps up our lessons, or what we do, our curriculum.